Hi, welcome to HubSpot with Paragon. Today we're going to talk about a sequence strategy on how to use sequences when an individual that has maybe responded to an email in our sequence and said that they're not interested, or for a reach out at another time, typically within 3 to 6 months. So somebody may say something like in response, such as, hey, thanks for reaching out, right now is not a good time. Or thanks for reaching out, get back with me in 6 months. Or get back with me in a couple of weeks. Whatever that may be, this setup can help you for that follow-up. So instead of having to remember every time to send an email or to send kind of a follow-up email, you can set up a sequence that reminds you or automatically sends out the communication that you want with that individual. So what you should do first is set up a sequence in order to do that. And so in this case, we are going to set up a not interested follow-up sequence. So I've already started it here by name and just put in a little tickler, but we're going to adjust it to what we want. So I've already sent my post, call, meeting, follow-up sequence. Doesn't matter if the first, second, or third email was responded to and they said not interested, you can trigger this sequence off. So let's go ahead and look at this sequence specifically. And what I need to do, what I would typically do if somebody had responded to me and said, hey, I'm not interested right now, get back with me later, is I would definitely respond to that email. So the first thing that I'd really want to do is send an email to them. So I'm going to grab a template here that I've got already called Not Interested Email 1, and I'm going to add that in. And then probably about 3 months later or so, or 2, I may send a second email just as an in-between follow-up, which is always good. And then I'm going to have my last follow-up email that I'm going to put in here. I'm going to show you what those say and how they work. So here I am with the three sequence emails, and now I want to update when they're going to go out. So this email is going to go out first. Typically, this one probably is going to go out 2 months later, maybe 6 weeks later. So I'm going to do 6 weeks. That would be a month and a half after I send this email. So a month and a half after we've spoken, I may send them this email. Some people like to respond a little bit earlier and do like a 2-week, which you could adjust to, and do a 2-week later. Just depends on when you think that this individual would most likely look at your email again. So I'm going to do a 6-week one, and I'm also going to take this then, so that's 6 weeks after, so that's a month and a half, and let's say it's a 4-month scenario, or say a 6-month scenario, I would probably send this another 8 weeks later, so that'd be 3.5 months. So we'll do 8, and we'll do weeks. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to add one more thing here. I need to have a task for a call, contact, a follow-up, and I'm probably going to leave a voicemail. And I'm going to do that 1 day after this one is sent. And then I'll probably do another call, contact, a follow-up right after that. And I'm not going to continue without this task being completed. So I'm going to leave these tasks in here, and then I'm going to put it back to a task for check engagement on emails. Okay, and what this will do is allow me to see what's going on. Have they really been engaging? Have they been participating? So I'm going to leave those tasks there. You can litter this with tasks in between. Maybe what you do is you throw in an email or a call here and just leave a voicemail. And maybe you do that 2 weeks later, like we were talking about, because calls are always good. But if you forget this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to continue without completing the task, because that task will sit there for 4 weeks. You can call them at any time and just give a shout out. So what I've done is I've created emails, the subject line, catch up later. So this would be sent right after. Hey, so-and-so, I appreciate the response. Totally understand. Let's catch up when it's convenient for you. Also, I thought you could use these amazing tools. I'll send them a link maybe with your sales team. The attachment is our sales guide I thought you might like. And I probably would change that to maybe say 2. And then I've attached this. So I've got a link to some tools, and I've actually attached the document. Now this document is saved in HubSpot. So if they open it, I will know that they open it, because they have to put their email in order to access it and download it. And then I'll, talk to you in 3 months. Then I'll have my phone call. Then another email will come out, and I usually keep these pretty short. Hope you're doing well. Did you have any benefit with the tools I sent you? I will touch base again in a couple months unless things have changed. If so, book time with me here. So it kind of is a tickler to say, hey, I know we're not supposed to talk for 3 to 6 months, but just in case something has changed, let's get it on the calendar. I found this to be very effective, that people sometimes with a call in between or reach out, even though it's months in advance, if you do this right, they'll say, yeah, you caught me at the right time. I feel the same way. If somebody reaches out to me and goes, hey, just want to remind you I'm doing this, I don't remember 6 months later. I don't remember 2 months later what somebody may have talked to me about. But if I get something like this, I go, oh yeah, that's right, I needed that. That's why they work. Secondly, if then you get to the email that is important, which is the, hey, now it's time for us to talk. And, it's been a few months since we last spoke. You mentioned I should reach back out at this time to reconnect. Let's find a time that's convenient for you. Here's my availability. If I don't hear from you, I'll try to give you a call. So I'm letting them know that I'm going to give them that phone call, that they should be expecting it if I don't get anything back. Then I'll give them a call. Then I'll try maybe another call the day after that, after this has been completed. Then I'll kind of go back through maybe my emails. Now, this is not the full process you may have. You may have 3 emails in between, and you may dump more information on them. These are great things, little tools, guides, ebooks to kind of drop in on them, something specific about them. So if you know that their son's, getting his Eagle Scout Award, you may want to let them know about that. You may want to check in about their daughter's recital. Show that you are actually listening from your first call or from other responses, especially if you know something about them or about their company. Those are always good items to attach. Never leave something just kind of blank like, hey, are we going to talk? Or let me dump all my information about me on you. This is a guide to help. This isn't about my services. This is a tool that I'm giving to them. And so I'm going to try to provide value. Now I'm going to save this. And now I'm going to enroll some contacts. So I'm going to come over and I've got a contact. His name's Peter. Let's see if I still have him here. There he is, Mr. Peter Jenkins. So Mr. Peter Jenkins all of a sudden reaches out to me. We had him enrolled. I'm going to have to unenroll him from the sequence because he said he wasn't interested. And I'm now going to enroll him in a new sequence. So I'm going to send him an email. It's going to be personalized, and I'm going to go grab from my sequences now that not interested follow-up, select it, and now this is the email that's going to go out. And I can choose to send it now, but if I wanted to, I could change this. Hey, I appreciate the response. Totally understand, that your company's not looking at it right now, or whatever it may be. You could add in those details here. So I can customize this the way that I want. I can even then come and customize and say, hey, there's no reason to call him in 2 weeks. He said that he's on vacation for 4. So I may adjust this for 4 weeks, which pushes this out 6 weeks after this one. So that puts it 2 months. So I may want to shorten this one down to maybe 2 weeks after that. And so now I'm reaching out to him 6 weeks after. Does that make sense? We're going 4 weeks and then 2 weeks. That's 6 total. It's not 6 weeks from the time of the first email. It's 6 weeks or 2 weeks here from the last communication. And so now I can see when it's going to reach out. He said come back in August. Great, that works. I'm going to send an email in August, touch base with him in June, give him a call in May, and this one's going to go out now. So everything looks right. I like the timing of it. And then what I might do is go in and make some adjustments on my follow-up options here and maybe send it at recommended times and apply that. And I probably don't want to thread it because I kind of like my subject lines. One said catch up later. This one says, let's see, this one says catch up later and, oh, they changed, but they were different. It said something like let's connect now. So I can probably come in now and change that if I wanted to. So anyways, this is where you can come in and adjust it. You can put in additional details if you want, and now you can start it. But there are 3 emails. There's multiple tasks that are going out on your behalf that you don't have to touch now. And I would start the sequence, and it would kick it off to Peter, and he'll now start getting those emails in that first one. I'm just going to kick off to him. That is how you can strategize using sequences and post sequence follow-up. You could use this in a variety of ways. You could use it for follow-up for billing, maybe in a deal where you're trying to follow up for certain things and get a response. The purpose of this is to elicit a response, either get a meeting or get a reply. In some cases, Peter may reply from the first email and say, hey, thanks for checking in, great tools. I look forward to talking to you in a month. It'll unenroll him, and then what you'll do is just re-enroll him in for the next email in the sequence, which would be the follow-up email for connecting. So please remember that as well. And then if he does respond and maybe he calls you back to set up a meeting, make sure you go in and unenroll him as well. Thanks, and as always, please reach out to Paragon if you have any HubSpot needs.